Part 2 is here, and we're diving into the late slate action that can make or break your bankroll. From powerhouse favorites looking to crush the line to sneaky underdogs in prime upset spots, these matchups are loaded with value if you know where to dig. We're breaking down the numbers, the trends, and the props so you don't fall into the traps and you're ready to attack the board with confidence. Washington's Nationals welcome the Philadelphia Phillies to Nationals Park in a matchup where the gap between record and resume has bettors searching for value. Philadelphia enters with a stout 69-50 record, threading the wild card needle and showcasing one of the league's most consistent lineups and rotations. Washington, at 47-72, is slipping fast, but the home park effect and a favorable pitching matchup inject betting intrigue. Odds makers have the Phillies as moderate road favorites, typically around -135 to -140 on the moneyline, while the Nationals offer +115 to +120 value at home. The total has been set between 8 and 8.5 runs, setting up a measured expectation, balanced scoring, but susceptible to burst from both offenses depending on arm strength. The pitching matchup anchors the narrative. Philadelphia turns to Jesus Luzardo, 11.5, 4.20 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, 151 kiloseconds, a lefty whose power fastball and secondary mix make him effective in high-leverage settings, though his road ERA rises slightly above league average. Washington counters with Brad Lord, 3-6, 3.28 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, a less heralded righty who has held opponents under 4 runs in 6 of his 8 starts. Loyal Nationals fans sense value. Lord thrives in the fastball and cutter mix, especially against Philadelphia's right-handers, and his whip and ERA outperform Luzardo's in several key areas. Simulation models split probabilities nearly evenly. ESPN projects the Phillies at 50.8%. Implying margins narrow enough that home park impact could shift value toward the Nationals. Recent form amplifies the betting story. The Phillies are 7-3 in their last 10 and excel on the road, 32-29 away, a hallmark of a playoff-caliber squad. In contrast, the Nationals have struggled, but they boast a surprising home total trend. 31 of their last 58 home games have gone over the total, signaling bullpen volatility and offensive bursts under stadium lights. That split sets the stage for an over-lean, especially if Washington plays aggressively and Luzardo bounces. Offensively, the Phillies bring more than just order, they bring power. Kyle Schwarber leads with 42 homers and 97 RBIs, while Trey Turner, .282 average, .339 OBP, provides contact and table-setting ability. Washington's offense leans on James Wood, whose 25 homers and 78 RBIs are the spine of this lineup. Though Washington struggles against lefties, 12-22 versus LHP, their approach is aggressive, and Nationals fans back their lineup if Lord sinks early arm puzzles. From a betting perspective, here's how the edges stack up. Own lean. Phillies moneyline makes sense structurally. Elite offense, postseason roster depth, and the better bullpen overall. Value lean. Nationals plus 1.5 is compelling. Lord's command edge, favorable ballpark, and the Phillies' splashy offense prone to give and take shift late. Total lean. Lean over 8. Both offenses strike deep and quickly, and both pitching staffs have shown vulnerabilities in the pen, plus the high home over trend supports upside. Top prop plays. Luzardo under 6.5 strikeouts. His pitching style leans deep count reliance, and Washington is disciplined against southpaws. Schwarber over 0.5 RBIs, value-based pick with power upside in a high-contact batting position, regardless of the game flow. James Wood over 1.5 total bases offers contrarian yet logical path to value. He's Washington's main run creator. A smart same-game parlay build. Phillies ML plus over 8 plus Schwarber RBI gives a strong return on what I call correlated offense plays. If they get going early, this scales nicely. A contrarian influencer SGP. Nationals plus 1.5 plus James Wood 2 plus TB plus over 8 targets resilience and opportunity cost betting, especially if betting splits swell toward Philadelphia. If you're chasing high-risk value, Nationals ML in live if pitching or wind shifts or turnovers erupt, could be a sharp late value fill as line moves too heavily on the Phillies. Ultimately, this is a classic matchup of established depth versus home field structure. The safest lean is Philly professional posture, but the value-laden lay resides in the home underdog plus total structures. Washington may lose outright, but they're more likely to push this deeper than the markets account for. Citi Field sets the scene as the New York Mets host the Atlanta Braves in a matchup loaded with narrative tension and betting opportunity. The Mets, 64-55, are seeking consistency after snapping a troubling skid in their previous game with a flashy 13-5 victory, powered by Pete Alonso etching his name as the franchise home run king. The Braves come in at 51-68, mired in a long season slump, but always capable of a surprise thanks to flashes of veteran power and late-game fight. Oddsmakers give the Mets a firm edge, as moneyline favorites in the -200 to -210 realm, while the Braves are long underdogs at +170 and +163 depending on the book. The total stands around 9 runs. Simulated models put the Mets with a 67-68% implied chance to win, but the Braves resisting at +1.5 has appeal when you factor in bullpen uncertainty at Citi. Taking the hill for New York is David Peterson, 7-5, 2.98 ERA in 22 starts. He boasts 6 quality starts in his past 7 outings, is making consistent contact, and is averaging 6 innings per start. Atlanta counters with Bryce Elder, 4-9, 6.12 ERA, who wears trail numbers in both ERA and WHIP, 1.56, but has the potential to go deep on a given night. That pitching gap favors the Mets sharply. Peterson establishes control early, while Elder's volatility raises red flags. Beyond the mound, Mets' offensive depth is a key edge. Alonso, Soto 28 HR, 67 RBI, and a still dangerous Rodney, all bring power and leverage late in games. Meanwhile, Colorado-infused Phillies deal with Atlanta's offense leaning on veterans like Olsen, .264 AVG, .455 SLG, 71 RBI, and Ozuna, 19 HR, .237 AVG. On the bases, Mets thrive when scoring first. They're 51-32 in those games and a dominant 16-4 when favored at -204 or better. The Braves, as underdogs this season, +168 or more, implied, have not covered consistently, winning just 23-24% of those matchups. Betting structure unfolds clearly. Core lean remains Mets' moneyline. Depth, rotation, offense alignment makes them the safe anchor. Value lean would be Braves +1.5 run line, if you suspect underdog value in Elder navigating early or Mets bullpen over rotating. Total lean trends toward the over 9. Peterson's control is offset by Citi Field's neutral hitter environment, and Elder's inconsistency invites run opportunities. Props sharpen the edges. Alonso over 0.5 RBIs. Power bat with context, especially if Elder runs into trouble early. Soto over 1.5 total bases, plus value focused on strike zone patience and chase patterns. Peterson over 5.5 strikeouts. Mets lineup poses multi-strike calls. He's capable of whiff upside. Elder under 3.5 innings. Expect limited forgiveness if control flags, pushing toward the pen early. A sharp same-game parlay (SGP) Mets ML plus over 9 plus Alonso RBI offers a coherent ticket, with layers of offense, control, and padding for final result structures. A contrarian-laced SGP routes. Braves plus 1.5 plus Elder. Under 3.5 IP plus Soto TB over. Pure volatility ticket if you think baseball unpredictability plays out. In-depth framing. The Mets are positioned to win strongly, but if Elder stumbles early and Citi environments buckle, the Braves could blow the doors off. Safe route is Mets ML. Aggressive gamers chase Braves plus 1.5, while combining with over 9 gives the proper betting balance. Projection. I see a Mets edge tonight. Solid, but not brutally dominant. Something like Mets 6, Braves 4, with at least one team surprising. Betting verticals should reflect confidence in rotation, but respect volatility from Elder. Target field plays host as the Minnesota Twins prepare to battle the Detroit Tigers in the second game of their August 14th series. With the Twins 56-63 hovering near the AL Central basement and the Tigers 69-52 riding a solid division lead, this matchup offers a classic underdog versus contender dynamic. Oddsmakers favor Detroit, listing them between -150 to -153 on the money line, while Minnesota provides plus value at around +127 to +130. The total has been set near 8 runs, reflecting moderate scoring expectations, but models leave a narrow spread that raises eyes for strategic value plays. The pitching showdown locks in early story momentum. The Tigers will hand the ball to Tarik Skubal, 11-3, 2.35 ERA, 187 Ks, whose all-star breakout season and mastery of strikeout upside make him a corner piece in a dominant rotation. Minnesota turns to Bailey Ober, whose form isn't detailed here, but given the matchup narrative, he likely sits behind Skubal in stability and upside. That tilt heavily favors Detroit. Skubal's elite spin and command matchup against a Twins lineup that's struggled with their own health and consistency hurts Minnesota's upside. The broader context tilts in Detroit's favor. The Tigers have max durability. Recent depth additions, notably Chris Paddock in a trade from Minnesota, bolstering their rotation in a division that projects tight into September. Meanwhile, the Twins are hampered by a fragile roster, despite flashes from stars like Byron Buxton, Royce Lewis, and Carlos Correa. Health is a recurring issue. That susceptibility, coupled with Target Field's neutral hitter park, means Detroit offense and bullpen could outpace any Twins push. From a betting structure, safe lean, Tigers moneyline, reliable path to cash with rotation and depth edge. Value play, Twins plus 1.5 run line, tempting if you foresee them leveraging Ober early or Skubal cruising under spot. Total lean under 8. Skubal's efficiency and possible early run control from both starters could cap scoring. Props unlock additional wedges. Skubal over 7.5 strikeouts, realistic given his K9 pace and Twins strikeout tendencies. Riley Green over 1.5 total bases, Detroit's dynamic bat with upside versus a Twins rotation in flux. Byron Buxton over 0.5 RBIs, contrarian choice reflecting his pop when healthy. A well-constructed same-game parlay. Tigers ML plus under 8 plus Skubal over Ks, synergistic ticket balancing outcome, scoring control, and his strength profile. A bolder SGP build. Twins plus 1.5 plus Buxton RBI plus Green TB over. A narrative play if Minnesota jumps early and Skubal has to navigate traffic. Possible contrarian angle. Twins moneyline if Ober matches early and Tigers falter in pen. High volatility, big payoff, but the line is risky. Match projection. Expect a steady Tigers performance. Skubal sets the tone early. Tigers take control with early offense supported by their revamped rotation. A realistic final. Tigers 5, Twins 2, under total but with Detroit comfortable win margins. Coors Field under the flat Denver lights sets the stage as the struggling Colorado Rockies, at 31-88, host the Arizona Diamondbacks. 58-62 in this pivotal August 14th showdown. The odds tilt decisively toward Arizona. Books peg them as strong favorites around -250 moneyline and -1.5 on the run line, while the Rockies sit at +200 to win outright. The total hovers near 9 runs, fitting for a high offense environment like Coors, but deeper scrutiny suggests more nuance in value opportunities rather than standard chalk calls. On the mound, Colorado will put Bradley Blaylock 1-3, 7.89 ERA, 22 Ks on the bump. A youngster with shaky control and who's been tagged hard this season. Arizona counters with Eduardo Rodriguez, 4-7, 5.68 ERA, 105 Ks, a lefty whose season has been uneven, though he benefits dramatically from facing one of the worst offensive rosters in MLB and doing it in a ballpark that inflates everything. That desperate tilt gives the D-backs clarity at the draft, but Blalock's volatility provides contrarian angles if you think Coors' offense can ram a narrow opening. Head-to-head history amplifies the gap. Arizona just swept Colorado in a 3-game series, scoring double digits in multiple games and demonstrating consistent offensive production. That type of dominance at Coors paints a painful narrative for the Rockies. For betting context, the Rockies have only won 26.1% of games as underdogs this season, while Arizona has won 50.7% of games as moneyline favorites. That aligns strongly with market efficiency, but the value line doesn't account for the volatility that Coors Field brings into play. Let's break down the value structure. Core lean. Diamondbacks moneyline. Logical anchor with rotation edge and recent dominance. Value lean. Rockies plus 1.5 run line. Looks sharp if you expect Rodriguez to struggle early or if Blalock's HR rate flags early with Rockies bats coming alive late. Total lean. Lean over 9. Coors Field assaults vault ceilings, and both pitching staffs have shown susceptibility. Props bring nuance. Eduardo Rodriguez under 5.5 strikeouts is grounded. He's off rhythm and facing a contact-rich environment. Corbin Carroll over 1.5 total bases is high ceiling value. He's thriving and finds mistakes easily. Hunter Goodman over 0.5 hits is low variance plus edge, especially in front of RE pitching that won't spare mistakes. A smart same-game parlay. D-backs ML plus over 9 plus Carroll TB over, strategic ticket layering power, outcome, and tempo together. For high payout zeal, consider Rockies plus 1.5 megaliters, Goodman hit, over 9, rough but thematic if hope fuels Coors late. In summary, Arizona's edge is tangible, but in a game at Coors against a fragile opponent, the Rockies plus 1.5 line provides value for those wanting to hedge against upside. Play D-backs tight, but leverage density around over totals and power bats for maximal efficiency.